Hey everybody, this is Jason Thrifts, and usually when you're watching my channel, you're probably watching one or two of my weekly YouTube shows, Thrifty Business on Thursdays, or Selling Past Your Expiration Date, Being Thrifty Over 50 on Sundays with my mom. And I do some other videos here and there, how-tos and things like that. But this is going to be one of them different videos because what has happened this week has made me be embarrassed to say I'm an eBay seller for the first time in the over 20 years I've been selling on eBay. Like if someone who I don't know asked me tomorrow, hey, what do you do for a living? Last week I would have said, oh, I'm an eBay seller. Tomorrow I'm going to say, oh, I'm an Amazon seller. I'm a Depop seller. I'm a Macari seller. Heck, I'm a bank robber because that's way less awful than being an eBay seller right now. So in case you haven't heard, and I can't imagine anyone who hasn't heard, 6 eBay employees have been arrested and charged with allegedly cyber stalking and terrorizing a couple from Natick, Massachusetts, because eBay did not like the blog they posted. And this blog has been around for, geez, I don't know, maybe 15, 16, 17 years. It's been around a long time. And this blog doesn't just publish stuff about eBay, it publishes stuff about Etsy, Amazon, whatever. And it would say when things were going awry at eBay or Etsy or any of the platforms. And, over these past 20 years that I've sold on the platform, changes have come and gone, some good, some bad. I'm like, look, some companies make a big mistake. New Coke, Crystal Pepsi, Purple Ketchup, those are all mistakes. But other companies make, good changes like Apple Pay. You don't have to pull out your wallet to buy something, or a cell phone, or Uber. All those things have changed our lives for the most part for the better. And throughout these 20 years, eBay has done things that I don't agree with. Some things I do agree with. One of their biggest mistakes was I was one of the best sellers on half.com, and eBay bought it thinking it would enhance their portfolio, and they screwed up the whole brand until they killed it and it was gone. Just awful. So what up to my old school half.com sellers out there? But throughout all these changes, it's where I made my living. It's a platform I worked on. So you roll with the changes and you learn how to work with them. Like I said, not all of them are bad. A lot of them are good. I mean, I used to have to take cash in the mail. Used to get quarters taped to pieces of paper. As soon as online payments came about, yay, no more checks, no more cash in the envelope. So there's a lot of good things. I mean, back when I started, there was no pictures. There's no pictures. And so, now pictures are super duper easy. But other things didn't work out. And sometimes they realized their error and they rolled back the changes. But it's cool. It's cool. I always rolled with it. And the one thing I liked about eBay throughout the years is they were a very approachable company. They've always had events, small and big, across the country where you could get up close and personal and talk with the eBay executives, the eBay employees, the ones that are behind the scenes making the platform work. And it was nice to talk to them. And so I'm going to talk about what happened this week with the 6 that got arrested, but I have a little bit of a different connection than some of the other YouTubers, or actually all of them. So some of the other YouTubers have made videos about this. I actually have a connection with 2 of the people involved in this nuttiness. So I'm going to come at it from a little bit of a different angle. So around 2011 or 12, Devin Wenig was hired by eBay. He wasn't the CEO yet, but I think he was president back then. I'm not sure exactly what his title was. But eBay had flown myself and I think 49 other eBay sellers to Washington, D.C., to head up to Capitol Hill and talk to senators and congressmen about what it means to be a small business in America. In terms of, please don't tax us, don't do this, don't do that. Here's what a small business is. And so this is Senator, he was a senator at the time, Dean Heller. Devin and I met right outside of Dean Heller's office. And it was one of Devin's first days on the job. He said, hey, I'm Devin, the new guy at eBay. I said, hey, I'm Jason Smith, seller from Nevada. And he said, great, nice to meet you. And we went in and had a great conversation. And I actually got Senator Heller to change his mind on his viewpoints of online sellers. So that day at lunch, Devin and I sat down, had a nice long chat. And kind of, not that we were friends and buds and we go out and grab beers and we text late at night about what's happening on The Bachelor, but we had conversations when I was ever in the area of eBay headquarters and at other events. And also at that lunch that Devin and I had, found out that he had never owned a Hawaiian shirt. And I sell a lot of Hawaiian shirts. So he bought his first Hawaiian shirt for me. This is me hand delivering it at the next eBay event. And then a year or two later, eBay asked me to go to Capitol Hill once again. And Devin was there. And again, we hung out and talked shop, talked eBay, what was good, what was bad. Gave him some tips on how to fix the media stuff like CDs and stuff on eBay. He put me in charge with a team, in touch, not in charge. I didn't work at eBay. He put me in touch with a team that I gave them some instructions to. And so this is twice now on Capitol Hill with Devin. So a lot of the executives back then were nice and personable, and I even liked Devin, and it was great. And then over the last couple of years, the newer executives, man, they just didn't have a smile on their face. They weren't warm and welcoming of the eBay sellers at all the events. They were there. They had to be there. They were part of the event. And man, when you would talk to them, it just didn't have the feeling from a few years ago. But look, time marches on. Nothing ever stays the same. Nothing ever stays constant. And I'm okay with that. Like, employees are going to come and go out of a big, huge company like eBay. So although I didn't get the warm fuzzies the last couple of years, to say I was shocked by the revelations this week would be the biggest understatement of the year. So in case you haven't seen, 6 eBay executives employees charged with sending threats, a bloody pig mask, and a bunch of other stuff to a native couple. So here is what allegedly, let me make sure I say that really loud, allegedly happened. 6 employees at eBay, 2 of them being very high-level executives, set up anonymous email accounts, fake social media, fake internets, fake emails, the whole works. And their job was to drive the couple who made the blog nuts. Just psychological warfare, basically, allegedly. Allegedly, they sent them fly larvae, live spiders, live cockroaches. They tried to send a fetal pig, a pig fetus, but luckily the company said, "What do you need this for?" And they didn't. They sent a sympathy wreath that said, in the time of a loss of a loved one, no one died. They also sent a book, What to Do When Your Spouse Dies. Now, this is a married couple who are both still very much alive. They said, so here's the other thing that's just crazy. They sent pornography to the couple's neighbors, but they put the couple's name on the address. Because, you know how often you write your address down or type it into a computer and you type it wrong. You actually type your neighbors. Yeah, that never happens. But this was their thoughts. They sent a bloody pig mask. They also tried to break in their garage and install a GPS on their car. And allegedly, it was discovered that they were practicing that move in the eBay parking lot in San Jose. Crazy. They put ads on Craigslist saying that the couple were swingers and please come to the house anytime after 10 o'clock. I also heard they were allegedly sending pizzas at like 4 a.m., 11 p.m. Crazy. So that was part 1. So allegedly part 2 is then they reach out to the couple as the executives and the employees that they are and say, "Hey, we know you're having these problems." Because of course the couple had complained to eBay, like, what's going on? Because what they did was they posed as they were other eBay sellers. So then these 6 people involved pretended to help them. "Oh, we are so sorry this is happening. Let's help you." And of course they weren't helping because they're the ones doing it. And then allegedly part 3 was, okay, now the Natick Police Department are involved. And the 6 at eBay are fabricating documents and trying to prove that the Natick couple threatened the CEO. It's crazy. So what you got to do is there's links down below here in my video. So you'll be a link to this article, or this is the news story. So the news blurb video. Here's an article from justice.gov. And here's the actual criminal complaint. It is amazing what a read it is. Now, they kept referring to the 2 executives that kind of allegedly got this ball rolling, and they kept saying executive 1 and executive 2. And then it comes out that executive 1 is Devin. And that is all over the news today. So, I mean, it's mind-boggling. When you listen to everything they did, I mean, I just highlighted it for you. It will be one of those like true crime stories or the next Tiger King or something, because it is so dark. It is so devious. It is so awful. You can't fathom that one person will do this, let alone six people. It is absolutely mind-boggling bonkers. Now, am I worried that I'm making a video like this that eBay might retaliate after me? Nah, if it happens, it happens. But I got to imagine they're going to be on their best P's and Q's, but well, you never know. The one thing that's really bothering me right now is we haven't heard a peep out of the new CEO. One of the high-level executives who had left the company had recently come back, and boy, what a wonderful time to come back. He has been the face of this, and he's been making posts, and his reply to this was in our eBay messages along with posts on his wall, and that's great, but he's not the CEO. I truly feel the CEO should be the one saying something, since the last CEO sent us down this path of, oh my God, did you hear what happened at eBay? Now, I had one friend who lives on the East Coast said, this ain't that big of a story. And then boom, it's on the nightly news, not the local nightly news, the national nightly news. And then this morning I wake up to messages from friends, fellow eBay sellers all over the world going, holy cow, we just got the news over here. This is a big deal, because this just wasn't like, we don't like these people, let's call them jerks. This was calculated and practiced like a military operation. Just mind-boggling to me. So there are videos to watch, and the video you're going to want to watch is the DA in the area going over all the details and then taking questions. Now, a lot of people have seen the 4-minute, which is like the edited version, and a lot of people have been linking to that one. I'm going to have the actual links to they, for whatever weird reason, they split into 2 parts. So the title is, and I will have the link down below, but the title is 6 eBay executives, employees charged with threatening a Natick couple. That is 9 minutes and 1 second long. And then it should, and it did for me, go right into the second part, which is U.S. attorney on eBay execs arrest for alleged threats. Never seen this before. This is the 4-minute Q&A from the press. So those 13 minutes together, you should watch the whole thing. And going back to what I said originally, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to say I'm an eBay seller, because this is not the platform I started on in 2000. This is not the platform I spent over 20 years of my life working on, earning a living on, being able to buy houses with the money I earned on. This is not that platform. And can it be saved? I hope. It's where I make my money. But next week, or I mean this week and next week and a couple weeks after, I'm an Amazon seller. I'm an Etsy seller. I'm not mentioning eBay right now because it's a sticky wicket. It's awful. Now, I did mention at the top of this video that I knew 2 players involved. So obviously I knew Devin from our time on Capitol Hill. And then one of the people indicted in this was Brian Gilbert. And Brian, I'm going to look over here and read it. Brian's title was Senior Manager, Special Operations, Global Security and Resiliency. And Brian was a former police officer. So how did I have involvement with Brian? Well, at eBay Open, and this was the last event Devin did before he just weirdly stepped down, I had myself and a couple others had an incident with an eBay employee that needed to be taken care of. So talked to the event was at the House of Blues, talked to the House of Blues security, talked to eBay security, and talked to eBay executives. And the eBay executives that we talked to and eBay security put me in touch with Brian. And I still have all the emails going back and forth with Brian and myself. And let me make it a little bigger here. So it didn't dawn on me till this was coming out and I was reading it and following the timeline. Brian had interviewed me with what happened in terms of the incident. and then asked me for my witness phone numbers and names and phone numbers and emails. And so all suddenly Brian was not responding to my emails. And on August 9th, I'm like, he's saying he's taking care of it. And August 9th, I'm going, you haven't taken care of anything. What's going on? Well, this is crazy to have what happened at the House of Blues while working for eBay, the employee that I had a run-in with. Why isn't anything being done? But now I find out August 9th is when he is in the Natick area, allegedly following the couple around and trying to put a GPS tracker on them. Just absolutely mind-boggling, bizarre. So my incident never got settled, never got taken care of. So I became a small bit of collateral damage. Now I'm okay. Life rolled on. Not that big of a deal. I feel sorry for the couple in Natick, because when you hear that 9 minutes from the DA, when he goes on and on and on, you're going to be like, no way, this is real. Like when I watched it the first time, I kept waiting for someone to pop up and go, and live from New York, it's Saturday night. And no one did that. No one did that. It was a real press conference about real charges to 6 eBay employees. Now, the good part is once the authorities, which in this case were the FBI, alerted eBay, all 6 employees were removed, and eBay has, according to the FBI, has fully cooperated. So that's good. But I'm still just mystified that the current CEO hasn't said anything. One eBay exec says something. I think there needs to be more. I really do. Because when you work with or for a company or in conjunction with their platform, and there's this kind of PR nightmare where it shows this ran through the company to different levels, and people lost their jobs, lost their careers, got arrested. This isn't just a small thing. This was like a military operation. And so eBay, where are you? Where are you? And here's the other thing. eBay's really only said stuff kind of directly to us sellers. So it was in our eBay messages. So you have to be a seller to see that. And the one exec who spoke up, it's on just his wall. So if you're not friends with him, you don't follow him, how are you going to see that? So to the world, eBay has largely still remained quiet about this. So I will continue to make part of my living on eBay, but I will continue to explore other platforms and make them as robust as my eBay platform has been, because it worries me. It greatly worries me that this is only the beginning. I just feel that there's more to come. And it's one of those things where, gosh, can we survive this? I hope so. I think so. But I'm concerned. And another thing, eBay in the last couple months has been very robust for eBay, for us as sellers, because we've all been stuck at home. And so people are buying every month for me since the start of the year has been like December. It's been Christmas every single month. And so, of course, revenue is up because sales are up. And eBay has given us free listings, 50,000 free listings, two or 3 months in a row. And for those of us with stores, eBay's like, hey, we've done so well. Here's some extra free shipping supplies this month. Now, taking it at face value, I'm like, all right, that's cool. They're giving us some goodies and they're doing well. But now I'm thinking, was this the initial apologies? Sorry we try to ruin the brand. Here's some freebies. I hope you don't mind. Because that's what it feels like right now. It really does feel like, I'm sorry I messed up. Here's a gift. And although the blog was always extra critical of eBay and Etsy and Amazon and the other platforms I talked about, why not embrace that and give them nothing to be critical about? No, I know you can't please all your critics, and I don't even try, and nor should eBay or anybody else. But if someone's saying something and a lot of people are going, yeah, I feel that way, eBay should be listening. They should not be plotting to try and ruin someone's life. They should listen. They should absolutely listen. Look, eBay used to listen. They really did. They listened. And I don't have any examples off the top of my head, but I do remember times over the last 20 years that they would change something. And, you know, when you change something and you have a test audience of like 1,000 sellers, it worked. It looks good. Then boom, you got 1 million sellers. You don't look so good. So I've seen them change things, then make it go live, and then realize, man, this doesn't work for the masses. It worked well for our test group, but does not work well for the masses. And they listened. But man, I don't think they listen anymore. That's bad. And not that I expect eBay to be like, all right, every YouTuber, every blogger, tell me all your list of problems and let's fix them. But it kind of used to be that way. Take it from me. I'm an old timer, been on the platform for over 20 years. Used to do a lot of things with eBay and just not anymore. It's time to move on. But eBay, if you are giving out things as, oh, we're sorry that we have caused such problems for you as our sellers, why not take care of us even more? Maybe no store fees for 6 months. Cut the final value fees in half. Something. Shipping supplies were nice. 50,000 free listings are nice, but come on now. Unless you're a major company or have a ton of employees, who's getting the 50,000 listings in a month being a single person doing this? No one. No one. So think of things that actually can impact sellers, big or small, 1 item sold or 1,000 items sold a month. Think of something that could impact and help and say, I'm sorry to all of us. So, I have a Facebook group called the Thrifting Board. It's a free group that's help for sellers of all platforms and all sizes, whether you're day 1 or year 20, whether you do $1 million a year or $50 a year, we're happy to help. So if you're concerned about this, if you have questions and maybe I don't have all the answers, but I can help guide you, feel free to come into my group, join my group, or message me privately. I am happy to answer any questions and help you. There will be a link down below. Besides all the videos and the articles, I will have a link to my group. But so to my fellow eBay sellers, I say, hang in there. But if you haven't already, now is a good time to diversify your portfolio and start selling on other platforms. I had a conversation with 2 sellers last week that are just selling on eBay. Now, last week I recommended, look, the customers on Depop are not the same customers on eBay, who are not the same customers on Etsy, who are not the same customers on Mercari, who are not the same customers on Amazon. So to be a well-rounded seller, you need to be on all those platforms. And I recommend getting there. Well, that was last week. Now that this news is broke, holy cow, it is for sure. Diversify your portfolio. If you're in the stock game, you're not going to have just one kind of stock. You're going to have a diverse portfolio, as you should with where you sell. 20 years ago, we had one place, eBay. And then we had 2 places, eBay and Amazon. In half, but then eBay ruined that. But nowadays, there's so many. I had a guest on my YouTube show a couple of weeks ago that he said, these are 2 of the platforms I sell on. I ain't even heard of them. And I'm usually on the pulse. But I'm like, what are those platforms? So there are plenty of ways to make money selling online. And I encourage everyone to do it. So thanks for your time. Hang in there, everybody. I think this is the beginning, but we can get through this. And for a lot of us, we have to get through this. This is how we make our living. Ain't changing now. And I for sure ain't going back to work for anybody else. I like working for myself, and I like to teach others how to work for themselves too. It's a great way to earn a living and to be able to spend time with your family and friends when we can, and your kids and your pets. So I'm going to continue to make my living selling online. eBay will be part of it, but I'm definitely going to grow bigger everywhere else. All right. Thanks everybody for your time, and I'll see you around the thrifting board. This is Jason Thrift saying, have a great day. Bye-bye.